Welcome to Film and Page. I'm Dominic, and this is another episode of Road to Dune. So I got two pieces of Dune news I'm going to talk about in this video. The first piece, though, it's going to be bad news, and it's concerning the new Dune video game that everyone's waiting for. So this article is a little bit older. This is from April, but I came across it last week sometime. Dune release still a few years away, says Funcom. The Dune release is still some way off. Developer Funcom's CEO Hoi Kasai confirmed during the company's 2019 financial report. Dune release update. Dune is seen as an evolution of the popular Conan Exiles title, and back in November was still in pre-production. As such, it's not really surprising to hear that the game's release is still a few years away. Here's what Kasai had to say. The biggest, most exciting, and most ambitious of our projects is without a doubt the Dune open-world survival game we're working on. After having secured the exclusive rights for PC and console games with this fantastic IP, it's a game that is still a few years away and will be a more ambitious and more robust version of Conan Exiles set in the Dune universe, designed to be a game as a service from the outset. The Dune franchise launched way back in 1992 for the MS-DOS and Amiga, and arrived for the Sega Mega CD a year later. Developed by Cryo and published by Virgin Games, Dune is regarded as one of the greatest strategy games of all time, and spawning many sequels. Unfortunately, Dune Generation from 2001 was cancelled, hence why everyone chomping at the bit for Funcom's current project. So the game is going to be a service at the outset. I don't know exactly what that means. I'm not up on my video game lingo. But I find it kind of odd that they're not aiming for a release date around the same time as the film. Because then I would think you'd want to strike while the iron is hot on this game and get the biggest bang for your buck. And a few years away, that's a very broad term. Because I can remember reading when there was a Dune film a few years away, and that was 2007. And we're finally getting one over 10 years later in December. So a few years away, that's like a very broad range. Like, what does that mean? Like 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 4 years from now? So the other thing, if the film really bombs badly, or if the film's bad, this could turn a lot of people off from further Dune merchandise. So I don't really know what their logic is by waiting, or why it's taking so long. So I don't know. To me, like, yes, I want the game to be good, but then I don't want to wait forever for the game, and the game to come out when the iron has gone cold, so to speak. So I don't know. To me, this doesn't. I'm not a video game expert. I don't know what goes into making a video game and stuff like that. But just from a marketing standpoint, this seems odd that they would be putting it off. Now, I don't know if this has anything to do with the current situation that we're in with the pandemic, and that's why it's taking longer. But it doesn't say anything like that in the article, so I don't know. So I'm going to take this as bad news. To me, this is not good news. As they're saying, well, this is still going to be further away, because I didn't really get that sense when I first heard about this video game. And it was a while ago when I first talked about the release of, when I first talked about Funcom making a Dune game. So there's that. So I don't know what to think of that. But there is a little bit of good news. So the good news is all the original 6 Dune books are going to be released again in a box set. And it's now I don't know what the box is going to look like. This is just like a temporary thing I'm showing here. This is from Amazon. It's Frank Herbert's Dune Saga, books 1 through 6. And it's going to be released August 25th, 2020. And so it'll include the 6 original books. Now, one thing about this is I'm just kind of curious, what are they going to have new covers, or is it going to be the books that are already out there? Because I don't really like the new release they got, the covers of those books. And I don't really like the shape of those books. They're kind of long and narrow. And then that kind of makes the covers and stuff like buckle and have waves in it. It doesn't really feel good in the hand. That's why I never bothered to pick them up. But if you don't want to pick up all 6, you can just go for the first 3, because they're also doing 2 box sets. And you can go for all 6, or you can just buy the first 3 books. And same thing, that's going to be released on August 25th, 2020. And I think it's already up for pre-order if you want on Amazon. So that's good news. Now, the one thing about the Dune books, I don't need another copy of Dune. I've got a few copies, but one thing I would like to have is a uniform set of the first 6 books. And that's something I don't have. It's like they're not all the same format of books, so it looks awkward on the bookshelf. But just for like display purposes, I'd love to have a uniform set of the original 6 Dune books. And so depending on what the covers are going to look like, now I don't know if they're going to go with new artwork, or I don't even know if for certain if it's just going to be all paperback or it's going to be in hardcover. Hardcover box set would be a cool thing of all those 6 books. That would be cool. Probably be, I don't think it is, because it'd probably be a lot more money than what they're selling it for on Amazon. So I think it's just going to be paperback. But the interesting thing about them having the 2 different sets, so you can just pick up the 3 or pick up the 6, I thought, well, why would you have, so you could just pick up the first 3 if you wanted, not the 6. Then I kind of thought about it, and I've talked about this before, the split in the Dune fandom, where there's a lot of people that hate the Brian Herbert, Kevin J. Anderson books, and there's a lot of people that love them, and then there's people that only consider the first 6 Frank Herbert's books canon and reject everything else after that. So you kind of got that split. But I think this is not the first time there was a split in Dune fandom, because I worked with a guy years ago. He was an older guy. He was retired, so this would have been like 2001. And we were working together one day, and we started talking, and then somehow came on the books of science fiction, and come to realize we both read science fiction books. He was a big science fiction reader. So I asked him, did he ever read Dune? So we're talking about that. And then he said to me, he goes, well, he said, the old Dune books are a lot better than the new Dune books. Now, I know he wasn't talking about the Brian Herbert stuff, because this was 2001. So they would have just, those books would have been new. And I don't even think he even knew about them. And then later I found out he was talking about the first 3 Dune books. And, Frank Herbert's, the original Dune, Children of Dune, and Dune Messiah. And he thought they were way better than the 3 that came after, God Emperor, Heretics of Dune, and Chapter House Dune. So I don't know. It was an interesting thing. So, there's even back then there was people would have had that preference, but there was no internet or anything. I wonder if there was social media back in the 70s, or would Dune fans be fighting over which are the first 3 books better than the last 3 books and stuff like that. Just kind of makes me wonder. But anyway, a bit of good news. But as for the video game thing, yeah, to me, that's not good news. I kind of wonder why it's getting delayed like that. And what does a few years mean? So that's everything I got to say in this video. Let me know what you think in the comments section, and I will see you at the next one. I'd like to say thank you to all of my subscribers. I appreciate you all in helping this channel grow. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon so you'll be notified when new videos are uploaded.